Good day. My name is Loaneen Palmer-Carroll, and I'll be presenting on the topic using art as therapy as a tool for behavior management. The issue that we're going to focus on is disruptive behavior. Can you identify with the image that you're seeing? Do you know a child or a teacher who would have been in a classroom space with a disruptive child or children? You might be wondering, how can art help with disruptive behavior? When you're overloaded with disruptive kids who just won't stop, what are the potential impact of those issues? What impact can it have on children? Now, it interferes with the teacher's ability to teach effectively. It creates tension in the classroom. It affects other students' learning. It distorts individual relationship. It makes it difficult to carry out classroom tasks properly. These are supported by Finn Fish and Scott 2008 and D'Amelo 1996. The research sought to answer two questions. One, what are the experiences of a group of students participating in a program where art is used as therapy to improve students' behavior? And two, how can art and its therapeutic values help to positively influence the behaviors of a group of high school students at a time out facility? What is art therapy, you might ask? Art therapy is a creative method of expression used as a therapeutic technique. Can art as therapy really help? Can it? My implementation plan. I had 11 sessions with the boys. Session one, we looked at, doing a mood board or magazine collage. We had visual imaging where they were asked to express their feelings. Active imagination, they were painting how they depict their feelings, their inner feelings. We had Zentangle, so they were supposed to just relax and, and create beautiful drawing, different patterns. Active imagination, where they were asked to paint a place where they felt safe. We had a movie day, and that was rather interesting. When the boys started warming up to me, we sat and we watched movie and we had chips and we talked, and they got the message from the movie that they watched, which was very good. They were able to make masks, and at the end, everybody came together and we had a group evaluation. Now, these are some images that the artwork that the boys created during the session. This one, they were asked to paint how they were feeling. This particular, and they were given an outline of a face. Now, this particular individual, this particular boy, had different expressions inside the face. So there was a lot going on with this individual. This individual was very sad, and there are bubbles on the outside, expressing exactly how that individual was feeling. But just the expression on the face says a whole lot. This person was asked to paint where they felt safe, and the individual paint themselves in black outline with a stick figure on the inside. Now, this is very deep. And they were able to write or asked somebody to write exactly how they were feeling on the outside. This is another painting expressing how they felt. Now, the thing with art therapy, it's a journey that you go through to create the art piece. It's not the aesthetics of it. It's a journey that you go through and how you feel when you have completed the piece. This one, how they felt, and as you can see, they're feeling sad. The expression on the face, even the color on the face that the individual used, show that they're feeling down and sad. We were able to talk about what they would have created, the reason why they created it. So we had a one-on-one talk after they would have created their piece. A mask, this is a outline of a mask that an individual also did. This person was asked to, I think it's create a space where they felt safe. Now there is black, like strong brush strokes of black lines, and you have gray squares, and I must give thanks for a glimmer of hope that I'm seeing, which is the blue circle. So these individuals were able to really express a lot in their painting that, probably verbal communication would be hard for them to depict. This is one that an individual do, and they were doing this. They felt so relaxed. They were very calm when they were doing this painting. Why would I embark on this journey? Well, I have a passion for teaching and learning. I believe in the quote by Pablo Picasso that says, "Art washes from the soul the dust of everyday life." I have seen where students have euphoric moments, aha moments when they come into my art room. When I was in the classroom, students would come into my art room and they would just sit and they would draw, and they felt so comfortable. They felt at peace when they were in the art room creating. It's a little haven, a little time away from everything when they came into the art room. The theories that I looked at was Sigmund Freud theory of art and creativity. We looked on the reason for shaping a medium into its final form. Because there's a reason, whether unconsciously or consciously, there's a reason for shaping or creating a work and having it in its final form. We looked at William Glasser choice theory. They look at the four basic needs. You have belonging, power, freedom, and fun. And once the students have those, William Glasser is saying that they will be less disruptive. An emancipatory qualitative research was carried out, and this is because I want to bring about awareness and change. Persons need to be aware of the visual arts and the impact that art has on individuals, and the positive impact also that visual arts, not just the arts, but visual arts can have on individuals. Data collection was done by students' journal, my field journals, the artistic pieces of the students, interviews with individual students, and an evaluation sheet. There were 10 males that were part of the research between ages 13 to 19. And these students were from different high schools in central Jamaica. And because of their disruptive behavior, they were sent to a timeout facility. Some of the students were sent to the timeout facility for fighting. They did not attend boot camp. They were caught with an instrument at school, for example, a knife, uniform violation, walking out of class, being disrespectful to teacher. And for some, it was not so clear as to why they were there. Now, my findings, they're rather interesting. The very first day that I went, I told the persons at the facility that, I want the worst of the worst, right? And I think I was being very presumptuous saying that I want the worst of the worst. And I wanted 10 of the most disruptive students that they had at the time of facility. And I think I got that. But I got a shock on the first day. I arranged the classroom exactly how I wanted it, in a semicircle. And the students came in, and some came in with a question look on their face. Some came in and they turned their back to me. Some sat on the desk. I mean, there's a lot of things when they came in, but I waited patiently. And when everybody was in, I addressed them and I introduced myself, right? And, they settled down. And after I told them that I was really there to help them, and they started asking questions. And I answered as best as I could the questions. And then I gave them the task for the day. And everything was going quite well. Then I realized that they were not tolerant of each other. One person got up, took up something from somebody else without asking, and that, just upset the whole flow of everything They were not tolerant of each other any at all, right? There was negative interpersonal relationship among the group members when I just started. There was not a sense of responsibility towards group members. They did not see, some of the boys did not see the importance of art and how it could help them to be less disruptive, how it could help them with their behavior. One thing they were not afraid to do, they were not afraid to give out a lot of information about the teachers at the time at the institution. You know, they were able to tell me who they think cared about them and who they think did not care about them any at all. One thing though that they expressed with a lot of emotion is that they felt stressed being at the timeout facility and they did not want to be there. Now these boys did not go to regular school. They were at the timeout facility for a period of time, anywhere from 1 month to 9 months. Some were there for a year, some were repeat offenders. Now, what happened over time? Over time, they realized that I loved them and I respected them. And they saw that. So they started trusting me. They started to trust me, rather. They started giving me more information, even personal information they were sharing with me. The interpersonal relationship of the group over time started to change, right? They were less intolerant, they were less impatient of each other, right? They were starting to work in a more cohesive manner. They felt more relaxed coming in to do the art activities. They even wanted to stay longer doing the art activities. They wanted to stay after the time the day as would have ended. They wanted to stay there. Um, One thing did not change throughout the whole time I was there with them is that they felt stressed, be it at the timeout facility. That did not change any at all. Other findings were the time frame. One of the major issues was that I was only allowed to go in the afternoon. There was a power and authority struggle there. Lack of materials as it relates to things that the boys were supposed to do. Lack of approval by the institution for the implementation of certain activities. And two activities, one was a graphics design session and going on field trip and going on a field trip. They did not want the boys to go into the lab, even though around the computers, even though I would be monitoring them, because they did not want them to damage the computer, because they said that I've done that before and they don't want them to do that again. And the field trip, they didn't see, you know, um, it necessary for the boys to go out, especially out of, a region, out of a parish, out of a state, to go into another area, for a field trip. Lack of anecdotal records and access to literature or some of the issues. I found out that the head of the institution thought that the study was an interference or a judgment on them. No, this was cleared up near to the end. So that was a big misunderstanding because I really went in to help the boys. The impact, I'm thinking, would have been greater if the support was given on the ground, from day one. Recommendations moving forward is to use art as therapy to deal with behavior problems, for that to be introduced as a pilot program in schools. Now, this would be very good, I'm thinking. Now, some schools might have that. The schools in Jamaica don't have that. Some schools in different countries might have that. Now, a special room I'm recommending to be used as an art therapy space, not the art room, but a special room, not the guidance counselor's office, but a special room that can be used as art therapy space. To train visual arts teachers in art therapy, and for the guidance counselors to work with the art teachers in the schools on the art as therapy pilot program. For more formal counseling session to be had with students that are deemed disruptive, especially those that are at timeout facility. And this is the request from the students. Now, they would have had counseling session, but they wanted more. They were getting maths, they were getting reading, and they were getting, English language arts. Because some of the boys came in and they were unable to read properly and write properly. But the boys wanted more counseling session. And another recommendation is to slowly, and I'm emphasizing slowly, phase out the timeout facility. And this is once the art as therapy program is introduced in schools and once it is working. The question I'm asking is, do you think art as therapy can help students with disruptive behavior? I thank you.